Hey everyone. This is so inappropriate. I don't know why I'm doing this like in the middle of the night, topless. This is so gross. I'm sorry. And my hair, honestly. Anyway, I was just having some thoughts tonight and I felt like documenting them before they left my head, if that makes sense. I just really felt like expressing what I'm thinking right now. So, I was just thinking back to high school as usual. Well, because I was watching like old videos that I had made on like my old channels and then watching the ones I've made now. And I was thinking back to my high school days and just particularly the moments where I just felt so small. Those moments in particular where people try to like put you in your place, or not your place, just a place they want you in. They just try to make themselves feel superior, and they just make you feel like the lowest of low. And I was just thinking back to those moments and how I felt in that moment and how real those feelings still, like when I think back on them and remember them, I feel it, I almost like relive it. It's scary. Anyway, but mostly I was just thinking about like me in those moments and me now and my growth. Ew, I hate saying that. I hate when people are like my growth, my personal growth, but I really don't know what else to call it. And it's really hard for me to sort of see my growth or see that anything has changed since those high school days until I have to stop and like take a step back and have those moments where I think back at high school and who I was and how I felt and how I feel now. And obviously I still have really bad days. It's a daily struggle, as I'm sure you all know. Things like mental issues and past trauma, whatever, it never goes away. You just, you learn how to deal, and it's a daily struggle, but growth is possible, and so anyway, I was just thinking about who I was now and the people I'm around and my state of mind at the moment. And although I hate to say, like, I'm never one to say, like, oh my gosh, I'm grown so much, like, I'm so much better now, because I usually always focus on the bad moments or the bad days, and I'm like, what growth? Like, I'm still the same. But it's just not the truth, I really have to think about me right now and like where I am. And sometimes I'm one of those people that I get down on myself a lot because I'm not where I want to be yet, but that doesn't mean that where I am is bad necessarily. It's just I just want things to happen, and I really hate the unknown. I hate surprises. So like if I don't know how I'm gonna get there or when it's gonna happen, I feel like I'm a failure almost. I feel like I'll never get there, which is not true. It's stupid, but yeah, I just feel like if I'm not there now, like, will it ever happen? And I just get really impatient sometimes, and I'm like, where I am now sucks. But I have to remember that it's all part of the journey. I like to say that everything happens for a reason, because sometimes I do feel like things happen the way they are supposed to. But I mean, no one knows for sure. The universe is weird, and the powers and forces at play are very weird, and we never know for sure, like, if things happen because they're supposed to or just because it's life and whatever. But I like to say that things happen for a reason because the journey is important. So I just try to think of it that way. I just try to think of, like, my journey is here for a reason, and even though I get really impatient and frustrated, things are happening in my life, and I have to recognize them, And so that's when I started thinking about my growth and who I am now. And back in the day, if I were to say that I felt confident or I felt good about myself, it always felt forced. It always just felt like a lie. Like, it was very much a, like, fake it till you make it kind of thing. Like, even on a day where I dressed up or, was feeling okay, I never actually, I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but I'm sure if you've been there, you get it. Even on the days where I felt my best, it still wasn't good. When you're in that really dark place, it's just like nothing is good enough, So like your confidence just feels so fake and forced, and you're like, I feel great today, but really you're like, I don't really, but I feel like I should say that. And then I think about now, whereas obviously it's not like a 24/7 I feel cute all the time kind of thing. Not at all. But in those moments, those days even where I do feel confident or good about myself, for the first time ever in my life, it feels pure and it feels true, and oh my gosh, like, ew, I'm getting emotional right now, which is so disgusting because, like, look at the state that I'm in right now. But wow, it's emotional for me to say out loud because I never thought, oh, if you would have told me my senior year when I was at my lowest point, that like I thought I would never feel happy. I thought I would never experience happiness. And I still get confused, and I'm still trying to figure out what happiness means to me and how to achieve it and all that. But for the first time in my life, when I say things like, I feel good today, or I like how this looks on me, or I'm having a good day, you know, or like moments where I just feel proud of myself or I feel accomplished, for the first time ever in my life, it feels real. When I say those things, it feels real. And definitely I'm not going to say that now because this is not working out for me. I'm not going to be like, I'm cute all the time, and then you look at me now and you're like, bitch, no. But on those days, and that's another thing, I don't even have to be like fully done up and like makeup and hair and my outfit on point, you know, whatever. There will be days where I'm just in a normal outfit and without makeup and with normal hair, and I'll look in the mirror and be like, you know what? I'm kind of cute, and I feel it for once. Like, it actually feels like I leave the house and it didn't feel like I just lied to my mirror, which it's always felt like that, you know? I always just said, oh, I feel good, I feel cute, because everyone was saying it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to say it until it's true. But now when I say it, it's not because everyone else is saying it, or it's not because somebody said it to me first that like, oh, you look good, so now I'm thinking like, okay, I look good because they said so. No, it's like me saying before I ever leave my house, before anyone even looks at me, I look in the mirror and I'm like, I feel cute. Like, I look cute. I got this. And it feels real, and that's the most amazing feeling. And like I said, it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, man, it's like I just get a taste of what happiness is, and it's incredible. I don't know if that's what happiness really is, or if that's just what happiness is in the moment, or if happiness is just a moment to moment thing and it can take any shape or form. I don't know. But all I know is in those moments, I feel like a new person, you know? Because all my life it's just been a struggle of me not feeling good enough, or not feeling like anything, you know? And I don't want to get into like the details and like whatever the deep issues, because that's a whole other story that I won't bore you with. But I've never felt this way before. And I'm sure the reason I wanted to wow, I almost said sit down and talk. I'm literally laying down in the middle of the night, not sleeping, but doing this. And the reason I'm doing this is not because I'm insane. Well, I am insane, but that's not the reason I'm doing this. It's because on those really bad days, or days that I'm not feeling myself, you know, on the really bad days where I'm like, I was lying, like, I'm just back to who I was, like, I haven't changed, I'm still the same girl that I was in high school, I'm gonna watch this, because I don't even know if this is going anywhere, if I'm gonna put this anywhere, because this is just a mess, but I can have it for myself. And since I don't know if I'm doing this for public or not, I know that I'm not lying, you know what I mean? So I can watch this and be like, look, like, it wasn't just in your head. Like, you really do feel this way sometimes. Like, you really are confident sometimes. And this is not me, like, bullshitting, you know? I wouldn't stop everything to film this stupid video if it were just a lie, you know? if I was putting on a front or making like an official video, you know, then it wouldn't be as like, I wouldn't be able to watch it back and be like, yeah. But since this is so, I don't know, raw, and I would be able to watch it back and be like, look, even in your ugliest state, you were able to say that sometimes you feel cute. So don't even like, I mean, a lot of the issues come from me comparing myself, and I know that's something everyone struggles with, but sometimes, and I do that a lot, like, I really have to stop comparing myself. It's just like a habit. It just comes naturally. But on the days where I just don't care what anyone else says or what anyone else looks like, which is rare if there's full days, you know, but on those moments that I feel that way, oh my God, I feel like I could take on the world, you know? And I think this year in particular, well, there's a few moments like that last year, but this year as a whole, there were more moments in this year like that than ever before. And so I was thinking back on this year, since it's almost the end, and I was thinking, like, what kind of year was this? Was it a good year? Was it a bad year? And I really had no strong opinions on it. Nothing life-changing happened. A lot of cool things happened in this year. And then a lot of, you know, not so cool things. But that's every year, you know? So I was just kind of looking back on it, and I'm like, there were some really awesome moments, but I can't, like, put a label. I couldn't put a label on whether this was a really good or really bad year, because nothing tragic happened either, you know what I mean? But then I start to think about, like, that and how, like, this was the first year collectively where I had the most moments of confidence. The whole summer I spent virtually by myself because my grandma left, and not left, oh my gosh, she just went on a trip for a really long time over the summer. And, you know, my mom was working, so really it was just like me in the house. I had a lot of time to myself this summer, so I really couldn't escape myself, and I had a lot of time to think, which I don't really get a lot. I'm very much like, if I get in my thoughts, I will be depressed, so I try not to. But I couldn't escape myself this summer, so I had a lot of time to just kind of get to know myself, you know, and really just look at myself and be like, hey, like, why are you so hard on yourself? You're a good person, and that goes a long way, you know? Anyway, so this summer, nothing extraordinary happened. Well, I did see, like, my favorite band, so that's cool. But the summer as a whole was cool in the sense that, like, I started feeling like I was coming into my own for the first time. I was like, you know what? You have things going for you. You do. And it's time you start focusing on those things, you know, and growing and building from those things. And so that kind of, like, shifted the rest of the year, I feel like. And the rest of the year was just kind of like a, you got this kind of mood. And it was cool. It was really cool. The first half of the year was kind of like the same as usual. But after that summer, I feel like things got really cool. So, and yeah, last year had some cool moments, but as a whole, last year was, well, like I said, last year had some really cool moments, but as far as, like, personal growth, it wasn't so cool. So I'm starting not to, like, calculate if a year was good or not by the things that happen, because good and bad things happen all the time. But I'm really starting to, like, see my growth every year and see, like, what's happened. And when I compare this year as a whole to, like, any other year in my life, I'm like, wow, Rachel, you've changed. And I don't think it's any type of change that anybody else could see. Like, I don't know if anybody could look at me now and be like, wow, like, you really changed this year. I don't know if they could see it, but me personally, I can see it, because it's all, like, internal stuff, you know? I'm even, like, starting to take care of myself. I'm working out, and it's not anything, like, insane. Like, I'm not, like, training, like, heavy, like, 7 days a week. But going to the gym, like, 4 days a week or so, like, that's, girl, like, I've always joked around my whole life, like, the gym is not for me, but I kind of felt like it was never worth it. Like, it's never, like, I was like, this is as good as it's gonna get, you know? Why bother? But the fact that I'm getting out of my house and going to the gym and feeling good at the gym, like, I get time to myself, and I can just let off steam, and I know that it's doing good things to me, you know? So it makes me want to go each time. And if I don't go, like on a day that I'm not doing anything and I don't go, I actually feel like guilty. The strangest, like, that's so unlike me, and it's incredible. Yeah, things like that I started doing and I didn't really like think about, but when I look back on it, I'm like, Rachel started going to the gym? Like, she's doing something good for herself? Weird. Anyway, this video is getting way freaking long, so I don't know if I'm ever gonna do anything with this video. Like, I meant it to be like a 5-minute video and it's now 15. So that's good. But wow, I just really wanted to like talk about this because I don't know if like a day, 2 days, a week, a month from now, I'm gonna have a horrible day and be like, God, I'm shit. I just burped. And then I'm gonna watch this video and I'm gonna be like, you know what? You may feel like shit right now, but you don't always, and I need you to remember that because it'll give me hope. Because when you're in those moments where you just feel like the worst you've ever felt, you think it's never gonna get better. You're like, this is it. Like, this is just how I'm gonna feel. And for a long time, that's how I was. I was like, this is just my life. I'm just gonna be sad, always. And even though it's hard to get out of that still, I feel now that it won't always be that way. Because I've experienced times where I wasn't sad, honestly, you know? And now that I've experienced that, I'm like, okay, it's possible. It can happen. And I don't think there's ever moments like that before in my life. Even in like good moments in my life, back in high school, like I was a theater kid, so like my good moments were shows and like things like that. Even in shows and like the high moments of high school, nothing felt as pure as it has right now, you know? And it doesn't even have to be big moments or accomplishments. It'll just be like little things. Like the other day I made like an egg white omelet, you know, and I was like, oh, I killed that shit. And I just felt so good. I was like, wow. I felt like I could take on the world the rest of the day because of that omelet. And it was like the smallest little thing, but I felt good, okay? So whatever, yeah, so this is getting way too long. So I doubt I'll put this anywhere because I doubt somebody wants to hear 20 minutes of me ranting about myself. Oh my god, I can't believe. I'm not a narcissist. I swear I do this for a reason. This is like a diary entry. My hands get tired and I don't feel like writing things down. It's easier for me to just say it. And I feel like I get words out better when I say it out loud. If I start writing, I'll like lose my train of thought and then I can't get it back. Because I write like too slowly for my brain. Anyway, wow. Okay. See? This is why I can't write, because that happens. Anyway, so that's that. It's gonna be Christmas, and then it's gonna be New Year's, and then it's gonna be a new year, and it's gonna be a new me. It's not, but slowly but surely, we're growing. And that's the point of this video, is I'm growing. And sometimes I forget that, and sometimes I don't recognize my growth. And I need moments like this to step back and be like, you're doing alright, kid. Little by little. Sometimes it feels like you're inching like a snail, and it's frustrating. But the fact is that you're inching, you know. It may feel like you're in a standstill, but you're not. Everything is moving and happening, whether you want it to or not. And yeah, the universe is at play every day. The energy and the forces in the world are happening. And sometimes you have to take a deep breath, close your eyes, and try to harness all of that. Yeah. So it's good. This is a 20-minute video. Oh my god, I'm officially that person. So yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. If you watch this, I don't even know if this is going anywhere, but if this is out somewhere and you watch this, thank you for caring, I guess. Yeah, I'll talk to you next time.